Welcome to Learning Language with Mrs. Lindsay. Today our topic is elements of a story, and we will be focusing on the element plot. Now your readers are interested in the events that take place in your story, so you need to create an exciting plot. You need to arouse your readers and keep them wanting to read more. So, what is a plot? A plot is the series of events that come together to make a story. So plot focuses on the events in the story. Now in your story, you must have conflict, and your conflict will build and get more complicated and more tense. So in your story, first your character is introduced. Then you establish your conflict. Your character must then face a problem. Your character must either struggle with him or herself, or struggle with another person or animal, or struggle with things in nature, example, a hurricane. So you must choose one type of conflict for your story. After your conflict is developed, you must work out the problem. Then comes the climax. This is the high point in the story, the most exciting part. After your climax, you work to resolve the problem that you created. This is called the resolution or conclusion. It ties up the action of the story and the conflict is solved. So in your plot, you must have your conflict, you introduce your character, and establish what type of conflict that character will face. You begin to work out your problem, and then you reach a climax, the high point. After that, you come down and you resolve the problem that was established. Remember, a good story is properly organized, so the incidents or events take place in an orderly manner. Let's look at this plot. Now, the title of the story is Wrecked at Sea. The characters are Alex and Scott. Alex is a good fisherman and a good swimmer. Scott, he can't swim. The setting, it's rough and choppy sea. It's late in the evening and it's dark, and it's during hurricane season. Now let's look at our plot and see if we would have created a good plot at the end. Scott and Alex leave home late in the evening. They're both capsizes. Someone rescues them. Was that interesting? No, it wasn't. It was boring. This was not a good plot. It was predictable and it did not interest the readers. So let's look at another example of how we could have created a more engaging, enticing, and thrilling plot. We have the same title, Wrecked at Sea, the same setting. Our characters are the same. Now let's look at the plot. Scott and Alex leave for home late in the evening, although the sea looks rough. Problems develop. They hear over the radio that a storm is coming. The engine of the boat starts to give problems. They try to call in for help, but their radio is broken. Are you excited? Do you want to know what happens next? Is it thrilling? Yes. So let's continue. Alex finds one life vest and puts it on. Scott is angry because he cannot swim. Their boat capsizes. Alex can keep above water, but Scott is struggling and is drifting away. Oh my. Shark starts to surround them. So Alex decides not to help Scott, but to try and save himself. A Coast Guard comes to their rescue. Wow, this was an exciting plot. Did you ask yourself, what would come next? I know I did. And so you see that a plot must be thrilling. Your readers must want to know what is coming next. They must be longing for more. So we say that this was a good plot. Tips to remember when creating a good plot. The plot is the series of events that take place in a story. Now, your plot is not the entire story. Your plot alone cannot be your story. You would have to develop more. You would have to establish your setting, have dialogue, and all of those other things. So your plot is just one part of your story. Organize your writing. Then you must be able to follow the plot in your story clearly. Your reader must know what comes first, second, third, and so on. They should not be confused. Then you must create a thrilling or exciting events that will engage your reader. Don't create boring events. Jot down your points before writing. Now, these are all tips to remember when creating a good plot for an excellent story. So let your creative juices start flowing, and see you next time.